I'm Dawn Watson.
And I'm Michelle Murphy.
And we are here today with our guest on Murphy, Watson and Company, welcoming Stephen Hamilton.
Whoa.
Yay!
Thank you.
I'm such a huge fan of yours.
And congratulations on your new show. This is very exciting.
Thank you.
And I feel honored to be with you here today. So
we were talking back and forth about who to have right now, and we both came upon the same thing because I said, I've reached out to Stephen Hamilton. And Michelle says, I was hoping you'd reach out to Stephen Hamilton. So it just happened to be.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
Our emails crossed, and they both said Steve Hamilton.
Yeah. So, and you're number 4.
that's scary.
It is scary, but in a good way. Yes. So one of the reasons that I had wanted to see you, aside from just thinking you're one of my most favorite men on the planet, of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, no,
But
I'm not trying to take him away, Emma. No, nothing there. But because you have this wonderful new play that's getting ready to open at Guildhall.
Yes.
The Cripple of Inishmaan. So tell us a little bit about this play and what your role is here.
Oh, I've been a big fan of this playwright, Martin McDonagh, for many, many years. When I was at Bay Street, executive director there, and I think it was around 1995. We'd just been open for a few years. And this manuscript came under covers of some literary agency. It might have been William Moore's, I can't remember, but we read the play, and we were just floored by it. And we didn't have a chance to produce it. It really wasn't available for us to produce it. But we were really excited about this. It was the first time that any of us had ever heard of McDonagh, and he was just brand new on the scene, and this play had just been a hit in London. And
Just to interrupt 1 minute, tell our viewers what are some of the other plays so they might have an idea of who he is.
Oh, right.
That
Well,
he's done.
He's been very, very successful on Broadway and on the West End, and all around the world, actually. Some of his plays include The Beauty Queen of Lenan, that won a lot of Tonys, and so did Pillow Man, A Behanding in Spokane, which is one of his latest.
Okay.
That is a title.
Yes, yeah, it was some play, too.
All of his titles are kind of bizarre, aren't
Yes,
they?
yes. A Skull in Connemara, and all of his plays eventually have made it.
Where is he from?
Well, you know, he writes this in this Irish vernacular, but he was actually, Martin McDonagh, you would suspect, was Irish, but he was born and raised in London. And he oftentimes uses that. I think that's probably one of the reasons why he's been so successful, because he has been outside of that culture and that particular milieu that, you know, the west of Ireland, and it's the wildest part of Ireland, and the people are the wildest of Ireland.
Hey, that's where my people are from.
There you go.
County
See?
Clare,
Yeah,
the
sure.
Murphys.
Yes.
So forgive me
Yeah.
if I get out of hand today.
Yeah.
You'll know it's just my
But that's
heritage.
I think because he's not Irish, he has that particular lens and that particular perspective that only an outsider can have.
I have that.
And he has the brilliance, too, of the language in this play is just absolutely brilliant. It's devastatingly funny.
Now, you are producing and directing, or what's your role here in the Cripple?
I'm actually directing and co-producing with, in association with Guildhall, of course, and Josh and Jen and all those great people there, but also with Ellen Myers, who has been my partner both in this project and with my Vanya project last year.
Which I saw. You saw that, right?
Oh,
Did you see
yes,
that?
it was fantastic.
Right on the stage. Now, this
you
is
were
going to be
with-
the same, right?
You were with Fred Melamed,
Yes, I
Yes.
understand you're going to have Fred
who's
on
coming to see us soon.
soon. Yes.
Yes.
Good old Fred, you know.
Yes, love him. Loved him in Vanya. Actually, loved you in
Yeah.
Vanya.
He is terrific. He was terrific.
Are you acting in the Cripple?
No, actually, I'm not. Surprisingly, I'm thinking, what am I doing? Not on the stage. But
we
there really
would've
wasn't
loved-
anything. There really wasn't anything for me in this play.
But it's a family affair because there's Georgia,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And
Georgia, my
Tony.
niece. Georgia, my niece.
It's a big family, and Tony's involved, right?
Well,
Tony Walton?
Well,
Or
you know,
not?
no, he's not. Tony.
No.
Actually, it's interesting because Tony has been very helpful because Tony designed
Oh, and
the
tell
original.
our viewers who Tony is. Sorry.
Tony Walton is very famous, now a director, but is a very, very revered Broadway and film production designer. He does sets and costumes. And he's directing this summer at Guildhall, just right after me, so it really is a family affair.
Yes.
But he designed the original production of this at the Public Theater in 1995 or 96 or something like that.
He's won every award there is.
Yeah, I mean, he is.
How does it feel coming from a family of such, dare I say, overachievers? May I say that? I mean, how does that feel?
Well, in fact, I don't
That's-
really come from that family. I was telling Don earlier before we started shooting, we started taping that. I'm from Ohio. I'm from a family.
I like that you said that very
big family
roundly.
in
Ohio.
Ohio.
Yes.
Yes, and you're from the land of maple syrup, Ohio
Well,
syrup?
yeah. Maple syrup is very important in
Yes.
my life, as you know.
I know.
How did you know that?
Oh,
It's one
I
of the
know these
secrets you
things.
promised you weren't going to divulge. It's one of the things that I really wanted to keep quiet. Was
I'm
my,
just getting going. I'm starting with
Addiction.
the sweet stuff.
yes, I'm going to cry. I'm going to start crying if you talk about maple syrup.
That has been our goal.
Yes.
It's been an accidental
Ever since
happening.
Barbara Walters is retiring, there's got to be someone to make
Someone's
me.
got to take her stead.
Right.
Yes.
But you were asking me about the family.
Yeah.
So I don't come from that family, but I married into this very illustrious theatrical family. My mother-in-law is Julie Andrews. My father-in-law is Tony Walton. And my father-in-law on Julie's side, I guess, was married to Blake Edwards, the famous Hollywood director for years and years. So,
And then you got Warner Leroy in there.
and Warner Leroy is in there. Exactly.
And the famous Bridget.
It's my stepsister-in-law is Bridget,
Yeah.
Bridget Leroy, now Bridget Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're all just unique little sparkles in the world.
I know.
But you're being thrown into that family from Ohio, and a family that was not in show business, or was?
No,
You tell me.
no, not in show business. My parents were part of the local sort of theater scene. They were amateur theatricals. They were, but
Did the bug bite you back in Ohio?
yes,
In high school, or
yes. I
did
have
you
to say it was
star
in
in
high
all
school.
the plays in high school?
I starred in, well, I didn't star in any play. I've never starred in a play, actually.
Well, that's
Art-
interesting.
I think art.
Well, that's sort of an ensemble piece. But anyway,
You've
that's
really
just
uncovered something
terminology.
here, Michelle.
You stole the show. Yeah.
Oh, I did?
You were
Oh, please, don't tell Tom.
unbelievable. Well,
Don't
you
tell
were
Tom
all
Guston.
unbelievable, but
That's better.
you know, I have known you from Bay Street, but I had never seen you act, I think, until then, and I was so blown away.
Well, Art was the Yasmina Reza play that that I produced and directed and acted in at the Guildhall. And it was the first time that I had used the venue in the way that I used for Vanya, and now for Cripple of Inishman the same way. I'm actually bringing the audience onto the stage with me. So it makes sort of a small theater within a theater.
I love it. I love that intimate setting. You really feel like, as an audience member, that you are participating in the action. I had the same kind of feeling once I saw Uta Hagen and Mrs. Klein. And it was,
Really? Where did you see that?
It was downtown. What is the name?
Was it the Cherry Lane or
The
something?
Lortel?
L'Hotel.
The Lortel,
Yeah.
downtown?
Yeah, I saw that production too.
It's so funny, and we have another, it's a small little world, but my friend Christina Haig was like, I think she understudied the role that Cynthia Nixon had and this whole thing. But yeah, I studied under a woman who studied with Uta Hagen. So I love that kind of up close, you're part of it and you're seeing it and you're in someone's life. And I think that that's what you brought to Vanya. And I hope to see that that's what you are bringing to the Cripple of Inishman.
Yeah, well, I hope so too. Well, it certainly is close. I mean, it is as close as this, as we are right now.
Amazing.
I think Fred spit on me, actually, in the middle of Vanya. Accidentally, of course.
It was holy water. Holy water it was, Doc. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit, since we've been talking about this play, before we move on to another exciting subject, but can you tell us a little bit about how this began out of seeds of real life, this play, and the journey that the playwright took in putting this
Well,
together?
you know, it's probably really divorced from his own personal experience, but its ancestors, I know, are based in a movement that happened at the turn of the last century in Ireland, when the Abbey Theatre was founded. Somebody out there in television land can help me. I think it was in the late teens, 1915, 1917, something like that. But playwrights like John Millington Synge and poet Yeats and Lady Gregory and that whole movement started this. The dramatic literature in Ireland was all the Dublin stage was all the English plays, English imports. So it was the first indigenously written Irish plays. And from there, O'Casey came from there, and Brendan Behan came from there, and all these great Irish playwrights. Now, there were also great playwrights in Ireland, born in Ireland, but had to leave and go to England in order to write and be produced. Shaw, George Bernard Shaw, for instance.
I always thought he was English. I had no idea.
Yeah, he's Irish. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. So, and this is based on, it's a play created by what happened when someone was filming a documentary, is that right? Or is that just part of the story of the play?
No, in 1934, there's an actual true-life documentary that was produced on an island called Inishmere, which is one of the 3 Aran Islands.
Have you been there?
No, I haven't. Dying to go.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe you can write it off now.
Ellen has been, our producer has been, though. She spent a summer there writing one summer, so she's been a real great source of, dramaturgical resource for us. But this documentary was made in 1934. It was one of the, at the time, it was a huge event because not many documentaries had been made, and this was sort of an anthropological record directed by a filmmaker by the name of Robert Flaherty. And it had a big Hollywood opening. And you can see the film on YouTube right now. It's really an amazing sort of document about these very rough and ready people who live on this island, or in these islands. And so the play takes place on the day that the film company arrives. And the title character, Cripple Billy Clavin, has decided that his life here on Inishmaan is much too small, much too parochial, that being what they called then a cripple boy on the island he needed more. He needed to get out. He needed to get out.
I just have to interrupt that I just came from New York City. And when I first saw you this morning, I said, these little town blues.
Right. That's exactly
and you said the play is about that, so now I see what you're talking about.
Very much about little town blues.
Who's starring in this play? And then I know we want to move on to a few other subjects, so can you tell me a little bit more about who's in the play?
Well,
Secret life.
Yes. We're both rubbing our hands together in anticipation.
Well, I'm very lucky to have wonderful cast, terrific cast. You may remember Janet Sarno, who played Nanny in last year's Vanya. She's back again with us. There's Tom Guston, who's played a lot of roles out here, as well as Joe Pallister.
Oh, I love Joe. Yeah, he's great.
Tuck Milligan, who is, I had the pleasure of working with in the production of Equus that Alec Baldwin starred in.
Yes, right. You were wonderful in that.
Thank you.
So good.
Just wonderful.
Tuck and I had a great
Again,
time.
a family affair.
Tuck and I shared a dressing room.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So you're quite close.
Yes. And so was Georgia. Georgia Warner, wonderful actress who happens to be
She
my
didn't
niece.
need a dressing room.
She did not. She was terrific.
Yeah, she was great.
And boy, I have to tell you, for those who have not seen Equus, she really has to bare her soul, so to speak. And to be a
So
young
brave.
girl, and this is her first big role, to come out and just do that without thought of herself, but only as in the character, I applauded her. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I
She's very
watched
brave.
I
Very
watched
brave
Georgia
actress.
grow up So I've seen this little sweetie pie at age 2 become this.
So was I.
megastar.
Her nickname used to be Go-Go, and she
remember.
couldn't pronounce Steve, so she called me Cheese. So I was Uncle Cheese. We were Go-Go and Cheese.
Sounds like a kid's cartoon show.
Yeah,
Go-Go and Cheese.
Go-Go and Cheese.
I like it. That's great.
Could this be a segue into your family life?
Oh.
You have 2 children,
Yes, yes.
and they go to school out here. So you live out here. I see you dropping the kids off
Right.
at school. Did I
Right.
see you this morning? Probably.
I saw you.
I saw you too.
I said, oh, I'm going to be seeing her in a little
Yeah,
while.
right. That's before. Anyway, you're a full-time dad. I hear you cook most of the meals, or a great deal of the meals. You're an excellent cook, right?
Who have you been talking to?
Well, somebody who's on your side apparently, because she's saying you're a good cook.
Yeah,
So that's good.
Yeah, you're a great cook.
I do. I
heard.
find it's really relaxing, and I'm not by any means a gourmet. I do really basic stuff because I have kids.
Yeah.
But I find it's relaxing. I find it's something that really takes my attention away from daily trials and tribulations, and we all enjoy eating. My whole family. So
Yes, we
it
do.
works.
Yes, we do.
And that's such a balance, though, of all you do with the driving the kids to school, the cooking with Emma, and I'm sure, everything is shared between you two. You both have these full-time, huge jobs,
Yes.
and the children,
Yeah.
and you got it all. You
Well,
got it all covered.
we manage just like everybody else out here. You have to have like 2 or 3 different occupations,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes, we
How
do.
are things going at the college? And tell us a little bit about that, because that's been a fairly new venture for you, a few
it's
years.
just been great. It's Southampton Arts. It's been we have now officially renamed it. And,
didn't know
it's,
that.
Yeah, it's the Graduate Arts campus of Stony Brook University in Southampton. So.
Are you going to stay in Southampton then? Has that been resolved?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely staying in Southampton. I mean, it's a beautiful campus.
Isn't it?
And it's the university is so supportive of our growing our program, which has started as a creative writing program. And just 3 years ago, we started introducing the MFA in theater, and just last year brought our first playwrights and directors in this new master's program in theater and film onto campus.
Now what is your title with Stony Brook Southampton and the Writers Program?
I'm associate director of the MFA in theater
Okay.
and of the international theater workshops there.
And you also run or help run the Yacht Program as well, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a program that Emma, she's executive director of, and it's the Young Artists and Writers Program.
It's a great little program.
Yeah, it is
It's really,
super.
really
It's
amazing.
really
Good
super.
work comes out of that too. Like, you think, wow, a high school kid did this? I mean, it's kind of shocking.
Well, it is amazing.
Yeah.
High school and middle school kids, can be so surprising sometimes. The things that are going on with those kids, and what the curriculum of this program does is really gives them a voice. It allows them to really access those things that are really important to them. And you can really track and see what is the sort of the zeitgeist for kids, what's really current with them, what's important with them from year to year, and it changes. Each year it's different.
It's a big, bullying was a big thing and will continue to be a big thing. But I think,
Yeah.
I wonder what the next new thing will be. But I have a couple of questions for you. I'm going to really nail you down.
Am I gonna cry?
Or I'm not. Do you prefer teaching young people or older people? And then also, do you prefer teaching to acting or to writing? Or if you had your dream life, what would you be doing? What parts of your life that you're doing now would you continue to do?
Well, you're asking me this question at a time when I really couldn't be happier in my career. And this is why, is because I'm involved putting together this play that I've been in love with for years and years and years, and just a stitch with a wonderful group of people. I have this other position at this university building a theater program, which is something that's been, a dream of mine all through the Bay Street years, all through the years, 17 years that I was executive director of Bay Street Theater. was something that, I thought was something I really wanted to do. So I get to do that. And in fact, we're in the midst of building a small theater on the second floor of Chancellor's Hall there at the Southampton campus. Yeah, we're building a black box theater there. So I'm getting to build a theater again in my life. So,
That's amazing.
I think you've caught me at a time when I have to say,
You get to do it all.
I couldn't, yeah, I get to do.
Well, for many years, this is how we first met. I was a member of the playwriting workshop at Bay Street, run by, under your jurisdiction, by Bill
It was
Burford.
Bill Burford, who's one of my colleagues at school now.
I
too.
hear. And that came from the potluck players out here who met for years and did
remember.
various
Yeah.
plays. And it went on then all together, ending up at Bay Street for 15 years.
Yeah.
And we need something again. And I'm saying publicly on the air, we need that again. Is there any chance of something for the playwrights out here at the college on that level that you might be offering?
I think it's a great idea. We should talk about it.
Because that was a thriving thing, and it sort of has left a void.
Right.
And
But our students, the demographics of our students are really wide. I mean, we do have your typical master's-aged writers. They are, in their 20s somewhere, maybe in their late 20s. But we also have writers who have come after a full professional career in some other profession and are, in their 40s and 50s and even in their 60s and 70s, people come to write and matriculate through the program. So that's one of the wonderful things about this program is it has such a diverse student body.
And you have Roger Rosenblatt teaching.
Yeah.
And you have Jules Pfeiffer.
Uh-huh.
And you had Frank McCourt. I was fortunate enough to study with all three of those people.
Well, now we have Marcia Norman,
Marcia.
Annie Baker, Stephen Adley Girgis,
Oh,
this wonderful avant-garde artist by the name of Rindy Eckert, director and performer.
are these year-round people or the summer program?
Well, it's a combination, actually, because we have the Southampton campus, but we also have a campus in Manhattan. So that we have Marcia Norman, for instance, Marcia Norman is teaching in Manhattan.
Oh, she is.
Yeah. Annie Baker will be teaching, leading a workshop here in the summer. Next fall, I think Marcia will be teaching here. It's, so we have a variety of different locales and venues where people take workshops.
Well, I know that Robert Reeves has said to me in the past that what's so great about it is we have the beauty of the East End here and all the people that live in the city and want to come out and get a little, not a vacation because they're still working, but a little getaway. They like to come out here and teach, and that just benefits. Christine Vachon, I know, was here last year. I mean, that really benefits everyone of us who attend.
Christine has really taken the reins of our new film program, digital film program.
She's big, Killer Films.
Yeah.
She's a big deal gal, so it's amazing. So I'm really thrilled to see you continuing to thrive in that environment where we were all a little bit up in the air. What's going to happen? And are we going to lose another tremendous program and cultural institution here on the East End? So I'm thrilled that it's continuing.
Well, not only is it continuing, but it's growing. I mean, it's Bob Reeves' vision that the arts extend throughout the community, right from the middle school kids in the Young Artists and Writers program, right up through the MFA program, right into the community with, with theater and writing throughout the East End. So we're trying to build, continuing to build community out here, and especially writing. And what a better could you think of a better neighborhood to be doing it than
Well,
this?
and we have, I think, the largest preponderance of creative people in all of the United States, right here. Really,
We
truly. I
do.
mean, we think about
Yeah.
who we've had on the show, who we're
Right.
going to have on the show, and they're just, oh, I'm going to call my friend, Stephen. I'm going to call my friend Fred. I'm going to call. And
Yeah.
it's amazing because we have so many
Right.
talented, creative people here. Thank goodness.
I know I was sitting at a birthday party last night at the Japanese restaurant Sen on Main Street in Sag Harbor, and I was just looking around and I was surrounded. Good, my God, just at the table I was seated at, there was a visual artist right across from me that had to leave the next day to go do an installation of a piece, some huge piece in Houston. There was an architect sitting next to him, a good pal of mine who's an award-winning architect. Across from him was his wife, who has her second novel being published, this summer.
Love it.
And then next to me was Emma, who's, a New York Times best-selling author.
I was going to say,
as
she's
well.
quite a success in her
This
own
is,
right.
and this is a weeknight.
This is a weeknight.
Off
in the rest-
season.
Yeah.
And that is the way it is out here, which is wonderful. And I suppose we're going to have to wrap it up very soon, but I'm so excited about you, a local person who's a father and raising kids and very involved in the community, getting things going over there that is going to enhance all of our lives.
Oh, well.
Not just students.
You've got a heavy mantle to
well.
carry.
Yeah.
Just
Don't let us
plugging
down.
away. But
Yeah, right.
I'm glad that though. I'm glad that it's seen as that. That's
Yeah.
good.
You do good work.
Thank
and
you.
we're so incredibly thrilled to have you on the show.
Well,
And hopefully the first of many returns after
Yeah.
we finish this whole round. We could have 200 people that we know on this show.
Oh, I know.
It's amazing. So you'll have to wait, but we'll get you back.
I know it's the resource center.
If you'll come back.
Wait. Listen, and again, congratulations on your new show, and I look forward to seeing more and more of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.